and howdy. Welcome to another episode of the Ramblings of an Insomniac. I am Courtney. This time I am not walking my dogs. Impressive, huh? I know. This time I'm not walking my dogs. I am sitting on my porch, surveying the scene, surveying all the action, and probably annoying my neighbors by doing a podcast out on the porch. But really, I don't think anyone's home. I don't know. Anyway, I just got sidetracked, sorry. Hello, thank you. That's what I'm going to say I'm going to go with. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. It has been so awesome to see more and more people checking out my podcast. It's exciting. I'm super, super stoked. I'm really happy. Every time I go to check in to look and see if anyone's been listening, they have. And I love it. It's been amazing. And let me tell you, I could use some good news. It's so nice to have, it's just so nice to have new or people that are, well, there's new listeners, and then there are people who have been listening since the beginning, and everyone in between. I appreciate every single person that has given me a chance. It really means the world to me. Thank you so, so much. So, hey, what has been keeping me up? What's preventing me from counting sheep? Just so much tragedy. So much tragedy that it makes me question a lot. Whoa, a big ol' huge AC system just turned on for a gigantic building, and it's pretty freaking loud. So tragedy after tragedy after tragedy, and I don't understand why. Well, I don't understand why. It makes me question things. It makes me question the universe. It makes me question on what's the point on being a good person, because good people seem to be the ones suffering. Children are suffering. I don't understand how animals and children and good people can go through so much tragedy. I mean, freaking Texas is getting hit with the flood on the 4th of July. And then now all of a sudden they're getting hit, boom, with another flood. Another freaking flood in Central Texas. What in the actual F is going on? In what world is it okay for children and animals and good, hardworking, caring people? I'm not saying every single person that passed away. Maybe there were some assholes. Maybe there are people that didn't work. Maybe there were some bad people that passed away. But good people seem to suffer the most. And then people that are pieces of crap seem to complain the most. I don't understand that. Sorry, I had to go inside because that HV system is a little loud. And as much as I make you guys listen to a lot of stuff while I'm doing my podcast, that's pretty freaking loud. In fact, you can still hear it. But in what world is it okay for good people to just constantly suffer? It just seems like every time I turn around, someone is calling me to tell me that their furry loved one died. You know, that they lost a dog or a cat or one of their pets. Someone lost a family member. Someone's family member is in the hospital. Or there are fires, or there are hurricanes, or there are floods. Or people are going around destroying things and bullying and killing and just having complete disregard for human life or the law. People are losing their businesses and their loved ones, and I just don't understand in what world that's okay. I don't understand how. I just don't understand why. And frankly, I'm getting real sick and tired of having so much anxiety that I can't sleep. Because every time I start to feel comfortable and I start to feel like, okay, things are going to be good, things are going to be stable. I can relax. I can let my guard down. Things are going to be good. And then I let my guard down. And then boom, smack, right upside the frickin', that's a new word, right outside, God dang. Can you tell I've not had coffee? Oh my God, I have coffee. Shit. Coffee does not make me hyper. Coffee just makes me, not have word salad. I totally forgot I have coffee. Oh yeah, I know it's hot, and you're probably thinking coffee on a hot day, but anyway, I'm just tired of having anxiety and working my ass off, and all of my taxes go to people that don't work and just mooch and mooch and mooch, and then continue to complain and complain and complain. And meanwhile, here I am paying for everything, and I can't pay my own bills. And just when I think I can relax about maybe family or friends, then boom, no, more stuff happens. More worry, more concern. Or just when I think I can relax about money and I can finally pay my bills, and I have saved and saved and saved and paid my bills and did a good job at keeping up on paying my bills and saving. And then boom, some fucking random company decides that I haven't given them enough money, or that I haven't paid them. I can't tell you how many times Pacific Power has fucked me over, and I've proved them wrong, and they've had to turn my power back on. Only the funny thing is they don't. They're like, they can turn it off real quick. Oh, flick of a switch, they can turn your power off real quick. But when they screw up and it's totally their fault, and you did pay the bill and they shouldn't have turned it off, and you have proof of it, and you have kids and you're a single mom and you need power, somehow they just can't find that same switch to turn the power back on. That used to happen to me a lot. Many people have tried to come after me, or I have been duped, unfortunately, with scams. When I was younger, I have fallen for scams. That's my fault. I fell for it, but I'm just tired of working just so much. And then my days off are spent, doing errands and cleaning house and doing laundry and all of that fun stuff. And so I'm just tired of having to do that while other people don't. And they're fraudulently using the system. They are using the system so that they can be lazy and not having a care in the world, while other people are going through a lot of stress. I mean, I have to go to work no matter what's going on in my life. I have to go to work. And I have to go to work when I'm exhausted, when I haven't had sleep, when I've gone through a lot of stuff. I just don't understand why it seems like good people have to go through shit. And meanwhile, in my observation, it seems like real fucked up asshole people like the Clintons, like Hillary and Bill, like the Bidens, like the Obamas, like a lot of politicians. There are people out there that just get away with looting and stealing, get away with committing crimes because of their skin color, because of, woke mentality, while other people are being told that they're not allowed to be proud of their skin color. They should hate themselves. Little girls are being told to hate themselves and to mutilate their bodies, and that being white is something to be disgraced by and disgusted by. And you're promoting abortion. and you're promoting mutilation of children by making them have surgeries that are irreversible and also can cause, and injecting themselves with poison that can cause themselves to be sterile. But these people have just great, wonderful lives. Fauci, oh God. I'm just tired of good people suffering all the time, of good people working hard. Our veterans get treated like garbage. Our military gets treated like garbage. Our elderly get treated like garbage, just shoved into a fucking home, forced to sell their homes that they use their blood, sweat, and tears to pay for. They saved up. They used their time, their energy to save and sacrifice to have a home. And then what does the state do? They put you into an assisted living facility and they make you sell that home so that you can pay for the assisted living facility. They force you to pay for the assisted living facility out of your blood, sweat, and tears. Even though you've already been an elderly person that's lived on this earth and paid taxes and probably went to war, probably fought in war. And they're like, oh, we'll give you Medicare, we'll give you Medicaid. Okay, and then you're in a shitty facility getting shitty treatment and you're getting the bare minimum. And in order to do that, you have to give up your fucking home. It's just, you should never ever have to give up things that you bought and paid for. Those should be yours. You've paid taxes on them up the yin-yang. You've paid a mortgage. You've paid quality of life. You've surrendered your quality of life by working your ass off, only to return it to the government. They didn't already get enough out of you when they took all of your fucking taxes. How we treat our elderly is just deplorable and disgusting. And then you take COVID when Biden was in office and you put them in an assisted living facility and you take away everything from them. You take away all of their social activities, all of their activities. They don't get to paint. They don't get to flower arrange. They don't get to do bingo. They don't get to have happy hour. They don't get to have meals with their friends or visit with their friends. They don't get to go out and have their family over. They don't get to see and touch and hug their family and look their family members straight in the eyes. You took away their quality of life. You killed these people. You made them die alone and scared. I know because my mom was one of them, and it's the reason I started this podcast. I started this podcast so that nobody ever, ever, ever forgets what the Biden administration did during COVID. They kept dying family and friends away from each other. So people had to die alone. People had to die alone and scared. My mom, before she got dementia so bad and could still use a phone, when she could still use a phone, she would call me, begging me, crying, please come get me, please come get me. I'm scared. I don't want to die alone. Please come and get me. I'm scared. I don't want to die alone. I don't want to die alone. I want to see you. I love you. And they wouldn't let me in. So finally one day I got sick of it and I marched my ass down there and I said, listen, call the cops if you need to. Call the cops. I don't fucking care. I'm going to go see my mom. And again, I always say this to their credit. They did not call the cops. They let me see my mom. But I had to do that. And I did that several times. And they never called the cops. But then they started cracking down and they actually did threaten and they got pissy about it. And so people had to see each other through windows for no goddamn mother effing reason. For no freaking reason. All of the information that the Democrats gave us was completely a lie to make big farm and make already gigantic companies like Jeff Bezos and Walmart more money and to shut down mom and pop businesses. They completely ruined the economy, shut down mom and pop businesses so they had no way of paying their bills, no way of paying their mortgage, no way of getting food. and took everybody away from dying loved ones. People that were in the hospital didn't get to see their loved ones. People in assisted living facilities didn't get to see their loved ones. You kept people that are dying and sick away from each other. You shut down mom and pop businesses, completely obliterated them, only to make gigantic companies richer, only to make big pharma tons of money, knowing full well what you were doing. And then on top of that, forcing people to get the jabby jab, forcing people to inject themselves with something that they knew wasn't even a cure. It did not prevent you from getting COVID. It did not prevent you from getting COVID. God, Biden had it like 4 fucking times. Or was it cancer? Or was it his dementia? Or all of the above? I know tons of people that got the vaccination, ended up getting COVID not once, but 2, 3, 4 times. So they gave out a bunch of misinformation, and then they forced something, and they said if you didn't get it, you will lose your livelihood. You will lose your ability to pay your bills. You will not be able to pay your bills. You can't have a home. You can't have food. You can't have clothes. You can't have a car because you won't be able to pay bills, because we're going to force you to either inject yourselves with something that we really don't know much about. Actually, Fauci knew a lot about it. He just wasn't telling us, but they weren't given a lot of information. They were lying to us. They were completely lying to us, bald-faced. Now, there are irreversible damage. There's irreversible damage that has been done from people that have gotten the vaccination. Irreversible damage and death has occurred. Irreversible damage and death. And death. And death has occurred from these vaccinations that were forced upon us while people were being locked up. So now their mental health is declining because, again, this is a fact. When you're locked up, just like people in prison, your mental health declines. When you're kept away from activities, you're kept away from stimulation, you're kept away from your family, you're locked up, you're seeing the same thing over and over again. You prevented sick and dying loved ones from seeing each other. Why? And then they got richer. The bad people got richer. The bad people have still yet to suffer any consequences whatsoever. No consequences suffered. None. Fauci, Biden, Pelosi, Hillary has suffered no consequences from making up the Russian collusion thing. None. No consequences. Everybody that was a part of the Russian collusion scandal has not suffered any consequences. Fauci, no consequences. Anybody involved in the COVID scandal and forcing people to get the jab, no consequences. Now we have this Epstein thing, which is shady because we all know that everybody is on that list. The Obamas are on that list. The Clintons are on that list. The Bidens are on that list. Tons and tons of very famous people, tons of politicians and celebrities are on that list. And maybe Trump is on that list. He very well could be. But I have said in every episode, you can listen to my past episodes. I'm not just making this up. Some people may have gone, like Trump. There may be people like Trump who went to Epstein's Island not knowing at all what the hell it was, not knowing that he was evil, believing that he was a good guy because, hey, we've all had the wool pulled over our eyes. All of us at one point or another have had the wool pulled over our eyes, and we have believed and trusted and been slapped in the face. We have been wrong. We have misjudged. It has happened to all of us, even the Democrats. So maybe Trump was on the list. Maybe he went there and he was like, oh, I kind of am thinking this wasn't a good idea. Maybe he's not such a great guy. I thought he was a great guy. I said he was a great guy, but now I know otherwise. Maybe a lot of people thought that way. Maybe there are people on the Epstein list that genuinely had no idea that he was involved in all the shit he was involved with. That very well could be true. I'm saying that about anybody. But when you go continuously over and over and over and over, and you're involved in a lot of other very shady, corrupt, fraudulent things, then I wonder, when you're flying back and forth all the time as if you're racking up frequent flyer miles, and you're also involved in other miscellaneous, fraudulent, corrupt crap, then I have questions, and you should be looked at. And I think the reason that Trump, which by the way, I do not think that Trump has been handling the Epstein file stuff well. I think he's handling it terribly. He sounds like an idiot. Absolutely against how Trump is handling this. He is acting like he flat out said it's not a big deal and he doesn't understand why people are interested. What a dumb thing to say. You don't understand why people are interested in the Epstein list? Because it involves child sex trafficking, and that's a really big fucking deal. That's a huge deal. But I think he is suddenly saying this because I think that everybody knows that there's some big, all-seeing eye up there who knows that if the Epstein list comes out, everybody is fucked. Because every damn fucking person that's high up there, whether it's celebrities or politicians, so many people are on there and so many people would be fucked. It's way, way bigger than the Diddy list. This makes the Diddy list look like absolutely nothing. So I think that maybe, man, I have no idea how long my phone was not playing because it said that it was low on battery. So that sucks because I was going on and on about the Epstein list, and I don't know if I should recount it because maybe it was still recording or if I need to go back. So just in case, if it already recorded and I already said all of this and you had to hear it, I'll just do a quick recap. And if it didn't record it, then dang it. Because I was just all kinds of on a tangent. Not saying a good tangent, but I was on a tangent. I was on a roll. But basically, the Epstein list, if you're flying back and forth and you're collecting frequent flyer miles, then you should be looked at. You should definitely be looked at. If you're going back and forth to Epstein's Island, and you're also involved in fraudulent activity and corrupt activity and scandals, then yeah, I think there's something definitely to be looked at. And the problem is there are so many celebrities and so many politicians on that list. We all know it. And some all-seeing eye out there, some person much greater than the President of the United States is telling everybody, including the President of the United States, this is my opinion, this is what I think. I think that some all-seeing eye out there is like, everybody better shut the fuck up and take the eye off the ball about the Epstein list, because if the Epstein list gets out, we are all screwed. Everybody. There are big people at play, and that man knew a lot and had a lot on people. He could blackmail and probably was blackmailing a lot of people. But Trump has not handled it well. He's flat out telling people, I don't know why people are interested. I don't know why people keep bringing up the Epstein list. What a dumb fucking thing to say. I'm not on board with how he's handling the Epstein list at all. I don't think it's because he's necessarily scared of being on it. He knows he's on it, and he knows he's probably only on it once. But the fact is, he has probably been told to keep it quiet and make it go away because too many people are on it. And if that gets out, everybody is screwed. I don't know. Or he doesn't want people to know that he's on it. But I think that you should just man up and go, yeah, I had no idea. I didn't know. I thought he was a good guy. I thought he was different than who he is. I got to know him. I saw what he was doing, and I decided, I'm out. I'm not into this. But yeah, I have gone to Epstein Island. Yes, I did think he was a good guy. My bad. I was wrong. That would go a long way. I don't know why politicians don't do that. I don't know why humans don't do that. Just when you are wrong, it's hard and it sucks to be wrong, but it goes a long way, and people tend to have a lot more respect for you when you're just honest. Why can't politicians just be honest? Trump's been doing a really good job up until the Epstein file thing. I don't like how he's been handling it, and I don't think that Pam Bondi has been doing a good job at all. She seems to me like an idiot. I can talk about Republicans being idiots. I have said I am a true equality. I am truly for equality. I will equally pick on every single person. I don't care what your background is or what you look like. It's free game, including Republicans. If you're a politician, you're probably not great. You're probably, no one's perfect. There isn't a perfect human on earth. All of us have flaws. But Pam Bondi she rubs me the wrong way. Just like frickin' Crockett. God, Jasmine. That girl. Her and AOC. And this is what I'm talking about. Why do people like them just get to be hired because of, Jasmine admits that she was hired because of DEI. She was hired just because she's black. So she's admitting she wasn't qualified. And they're all like, hee, hee, hee. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? But I'm oppressed. But I'm a victim. And she's dumb as a box of rocks. And I'm just tired of the misinformation. I'm so sick and tired of good people suffering. I'm tired of bad people having blatant proof that they're bad, not suffering, not having consequences. I'm tired of the same regurgitated bullshit about Trump. The same stuff keeps getting spread around about Trump. And then people believe it because nobody believes in educating themselves or digging deep and looking into stuff anymore. People just take things at face value. And it's so frustrating. And Democrats just wash their hands of the fact that they absolutely 100% promote and encourage the assassination of our president and promote and encourage the bullying and the censoring of Trump supporters, the harm of Trump supporters, taking away their livelihood, completely taking away their rights, while at the same time preaching that they have no rights and that they are oppressed. I'm tired of all of the destruction and mom and pop store owners suffering consequences of other people. And those other people aren't getting anything. Sure, a handful get put in jail. Big whoop-de-doo. Jail isn't the answer. I've said this on a million podcasts. Again, this is something I've said so many times. Prison, we have such a high rate of we don't reform. We have a rate of return. No, we have a reoffense rate, a very high reoffense rate. And we need to start, again, I've said this since before it became trendy, trade schools. I used to work at Job Corps. I was a residential advisor at Job Corps for 6 years. And it was an amazing program. It is an amazing program. I worked at Tongue Point Job Corps, and it is an awesome program. And there should be a ton of those. They should bring them back. They should bring back SHOP and home ec and teaching people how to pay their bills and stuff in class. Those trade skills are important. At the Job Corps I worked at, they had welding. They had carpentry. They had painting. They had certified nurse's aide. They had dental hygienist assistant. They had seamanship program. They had culinary. They had accounting. These are amazing trades. These are trades that can be useful everywhere. Other Job Corps have electricians. They have all these different trades that will never go out of style, that we will always need. And the cool thing is, you stay there like it's college, like it's a dorm, and you pay for these things by keeping your room clean, by keeping your common areas clean, by getting scored. I know because I worked there. You get scored and graded on how clean your room is and how clean your common area is. And you are awarded privileges like staying out later. But you also get dinged. You have a curfew. Everybody has a curfew. If you don't come in on that curfew, you get penalized. If you follow the rules, you get rewarded. You don't graduate until you actually know and understand and are capable of proving that you can do the trade. They make you prove that you can that you're fit to go out into the workplace. They even teach you how to do resumes and work with you on interviews. They don't just like high school now pass you along when you have no idea how to read or write or speak English, because that's what Oregon does. Oregon doesn't give a rat's ass if you know how to read, write, or speak English. They will graduate you anyway. Trade schools don't do that. They make sure that you know what the F you're doing before you go out into the world. They don't just go, oh, you know what, good enough. It's good enough. When did good enough become a thing? When was it cool to just be meh? But trade schools I've been talking about for a long time. And we definitely need to bring those back. Same with accounting and home ec and entrepreneurship and shop in high school. These are things that definitely need to be brought back for sure. But man, I'm tired of dumb, uneducated, fraudulent, scandalous, corrupt people being rewarded, suffering no consequences for their terrible behavior, for their crimes. And I'm tired of good people that follow the law, that go to work, that try their hardest, that do their best at being a coworker, a parent, a partner, a friend. And they get just beat up and beat up and beat up and kicked and kicked and kicked. And then if, God forbid, we get upset, we still don't go around ruining everybody else's lives. We still don't go around burning everybody else's shit, because what does that do? What the fuck are you achieving? What is your goal? Ask yourself what your goal is. Because it can't be to save the world. It can't be to fix capitalism. And, because you're not doing those things. Education is important. This is why education is important. And this is why the Department of Education has failed. The proof is in the pudding, people. Look around. The Department of Education is a pile of garbage. Useless garbage. Talk about dictatorship. Talk about Nazi. Look at the Department of Education. Bunch of fucking useless waste of space. Just like a lot of these woke paid protesters. When you're going around getting paid to spread misinformation, that is so diabolical. That's disgusting. I hope to God that there is a God, or that there are things in the universe that are keeping track. Because when you're getting paid to go out and destroy other people's livelihoods and make their insurance go through the roof, because every time you destroy someone else's property, their insurance has to pay for that shit. And their insurance may or may not cover it. Because they can't go after you, because you're probably broke as a fucking joke. You're probably homeless, and that's why you're trying to get paid to do protesting. Or maybe you're making a boatload of money off of protesting. When you have to pay Beyonce, and you have to pay Katy Perry, and you have to pay Oprah, you have to pay people to support you, that's not support. That's not true support. That's not loyalty. When you're paying people to protest, they're not actually standing up for you. When you're having to be a man competing in a female sport, you're not actually being supported. You're not actually winning anything or achieving anything. But that is what these woke, crazy people think. And it's weird. And yet they don't suffer consequences. Everybody else does. Flood after flood, hurricane after hurricane, and FEMA doesn't care. FEMA has admitted over and over, fact, so don't argue with me, fact, FEMA did not help, just completely abandon anybody that was remotely affiliated with Donald Trump. Biden and Harris totally, completely disregarded every single person affected by the hurricane. Elon Musk had to come in and help. Donald Trump came in and helped, not Biden. Oh, but who ran to help in the California fires to help Gavin Newsom and, really just say that they'll help out and give basically as much money as they need, just an endless supply of money, just making it rain money. You get money, you get money, you get money. But no money for anybody affected by the hurricanes. No, that's a no. And we'll see what happens. Well, now that Trump is in office, I'm sure that Texas is going to get help. I hope so. But God, my heart goes out to them. Another flood, another flood. I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of getting phone call after phone call, hearing heartbreaking stories of people who have someone in the hospital that's clinging to life, or someone that has died, or their dog has died, and all of these tragedies going on. And sirens, like right now, I'm hearing a siren. It's just siren after siren because of just crime after crime. Come on. Come on. This is why I can't sleep. Can you hear those sirens in the background? God, when is it going to end? When can we all I want it to be like a scene from a movie where we just hold hands through a field, slow motion, running toward each other. Sorry, that's really loud. I feel really bad for whoever's going through shit right now. Dang. Proving my point, though, right on cue. More effing tragedy. More. And there are people all over the world, not just the States, all over the world that are suffering right now from various things, from disease, from famine. When is it going to end? I'm such an empath, and I feel it all, and then I don't sleep. And I hate not being able to help, and I turn in circles because I don't know where to begin, and then I get focused, and I make a plan, and I'm like, all right. And then I get sidetracked by working a million hours and my family and stuff going on in my life. And I'm going through a lot again. And I don't want to complain about things when there is so many more. There's so much tragedy going on, and people are suffering far more than I am. But again, like I've said in past podcasts, just because other people may be going through more than you are, or going through more of a hardship, doesn't mean I'm not allowed to be sad or angry or frustrated or tired. I can still be sad for what I'm going through, but I can also be grateful that it's not to the level of what other people are suffering. I thank God all the time for what I have. I am always grateful for the things that I have because I'm well aware that I have it better than a lot of people. But I have suffered a lot in my life. I have gone through a lot. I have suffered so much trauma. I have a lot of PTSD. I have had more things happen in my lifetime than a person should have to go through. But I don't claim that I'm oppressed or a victim. I don't boo-hoo about it. Sure, sometimes I get frustrated by it. Sure, sometimes I have a good cry on my podcast. Sure, sometimes I throw a fit for a second and I cry about it and I have a pity party. Yep, I've done that. And I think that's okay for everybody to do. But again, like I've always said, just don't live in it. Don't go around damaging other people's lives because you're pissed off about yours. Don't go around making other people suffer because your life sucks. Don't live in your sorrow. Don't have your pity party for, a long time. Have it, feel it, go through it because you have a right to, and then work it out. And that's what I've done. But God, there are days that it's a lot harder than others, I'll tell you that. But there was other times when I'm like, okay, well, at least I'm not going through flash floods. At least I have my sons are alive and healthy, and my grandkids are alive and healthy, and so am I. Okay. But again, I'm still allowed to be upset just because my life may not be as bad as others, because again, I've had a pretty shit life. But I've also had an amazing life, and I've also had and gone places that other people haven't. I've seen things that other people haven't in a good way. I have a roof over my head. I have a lot of things that others don't. So I'm very fortunate and grateful for that. But right now, I'm pissed off that so many people are suffering while good people suffer, shitty people just rake in more and more. Like, it's just so annoying. Like, why are the Kardashians even, God, ugh. I don't know. Anyway. Oh, and real quick, Alligator Alcatraz. Everybody needs to chill out about that. It's a holding facility. It's a holding facility. It is not a maximum security prison where people are there for a long time. And people are getting all mad because they're like, they're assigning numbers. They're assigning numbers to these people. Yeah, that's what you do in prison. You get assigned a number. It's always been going on. This is not new. This is not just assigning numbers to immigrants. Nope. Prisoners have always had numbers. Just like, when you're born and you get a social security. By the way, anybody who's listened to my podcast knows I can't say that word. It's a tongue twister for me. Social security. There we go. We're all assigned one of those. That's a number. When you're an athlete and you're on a team, you're assigned a number. When you get your driver's license, you're assigned a number. When you live somewhere like an apartment or a home, you're assigned an address, which are a bunch of numbers. Prisoners have always been assigned numbers. It's nothing racial. It's nothing against immigrants. It's just what has always happened. And Alligator Alcatraz is a holding facility. So people need to calm down on that. Anyway, you know what's good? You guys. You guys are awesome. You guys make me happy. You guys are the reason I keep doing this podcast, because more and more people are listening. Although I'm having a lot of trouble with my Buzzsprout. I use Alitu, and Alitu used to send it to Buzzsprout with my intro and outro song. Now I don't have the option of sending it to Buzzsprout. I have to get on Buzzsprout's actual page, upload my podcast, but it does not allow me to upload the intro or outro music. So now all of my podcasts episodes that are on Buzzsprout do not have my intro or outro music on it. My ones on Alitu do. So it's very frustrating. And it's probably all the more reason why I need to do an actual podcast and sit down and do the whole thing. But oh my God, you guys, I'm pacing as we speak. As we speak, I'm pacing all over because I cannot do a podcast sitting down. I don't know how that works. Anyway, thank you so very much for listening. I appreciate you all. Tell a friend, tell a neighbor, tell a coworker, tell your partner, shout it from the rooftops, run through the fields shouting, listen to the ramblings of an insomniac. Remember to take a deep breath, in through your nose, out through your mouth, slowly and controlled. Remember to control what you can, let go of the things you can't. Find one thing to focus on that's good. Spread that positivity. But allow yourself to be pissed and allow yourself to go through your emotions too. But hey, I will see you guys next time on The Ramblings of an Insomniac.